Hello my viewers and welcome to this exciting lesson in Autodesk Robot Structural Analysis. In this lesson, I just want to teach you on how you can create the load types. From here, as you can see, this is where we create your load types. The next step for you is to see how you can, define the loads and also apply the loads. And the last step that you are going to do is for you to create the combinations. And you'll be working on this model that you are seeing right here. Now, for anyone who would like to see how to create this model, if you want to learn on how to create this model, make sure that you check the card above there. This is the lesson where we created, this model. So go ahead and check it out and then continue with this lesson if you like. Okay, now I just want to ask you that don't just watch the videos, make sure that you like the videos and make sure that you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. That way you motivate me to do more and more lessons on this channel. And for anyone who would like to learn robot structural analysis in a course, make sure that you check the link in the first comment and also in the description. Okay, without wasting much of your time, let's get started in this lesson. So, as you can see, this is the model. As I've already mentioned, we created it in one of the previous lessons. Go ahead and check it out if you want. So as I mentioned, the first step that you need to start with is the load types. If I just click on the load types, this is where we are going to create our load types. Okay, what we are putting here is what you intend to apply on your structure. As an engineer, you should have identified all the possible laws that will act on this structure. These are the laws that you are going to name right here. Why you are putting such names here is for you, to identify them as you go to the next step of, creating your load definitions here. Those names will appear there as we are going to see later on. Okay, so make sure that you start with this step. Now, let me just show you to say that we don't have any loads on this structure. If I just go to load and I go to load table, you see that we don't have anything here. So as we create the load types and also, anything that we create there, we are going to have the load types appearing here and also the load values will start, getting populated in this table. So you can see that there's nothing here. Okay, so let's get started with the, the load types. I'll click there. Now in robot structural analysis, the first load type that you create is for the self weight of the structure and it will be calculated automatically and you see later on that it will be there within the load table. Okay, so we have the number there, that is the first one. We have the nature, we have to make sure that it's the dead load, and under the structure, the sub nature, we know that is structural. So we'll just be changing the name here and there so that later on we can easily identify it. So under the name, I'll call this one the self weight. Okay, because it's the self weight, of course. And I'll simply copy this one, right click, copy and paste it right there. Okay, so we are happy here and simply click on add. As you can see, it will be added here. Now I mentioned that for the self weight, it will automatically be calculated. So if I just close here and go to the loads and go to the load table, you see that we have the self weight here and all the members are calculated here. As you can see, it says the wall structure. Okay, then we have the factor as you can see. So the self weight has been calculated for the structure. So I'll simply close this one, then go back to the load types and let's go ahead and add some more load types, and that will be dependent on the number of loads that you want to apply on your structure. In this lesson, we just, pick a number of loads that we need to, to apply there. And as an engineer, it's up to you to make sure that you identify all the possible loads acting on this structure and, indicate them here. So the next one for this lesson, this is number 2. And of course, it will be a dead load, to be structural. That's okay. Then I'll rename this one to floor finish. Okay. This is my floor finish, then I'll simply copy it just like that and put it also under the label and simply click on add. The next one would be the wall loads. The wall loads once again will just be dead load. So I'll simply rename this one to wall loads and I just want to copy this one and apply it right there. Then click on add. The next one will be live loads. So under the nature, I want to change, make sure that you change to live, and here make sure that you pick the category. I'll pick category A, and I'll name this one as the live loads, and simply click on add. Okay, the next one, I just want to have roof live. So I know that it's a live load, so I'll pick it, and the category is okay, and I'll just call it the roof live. Okay, all right, just like that. Then I'll simply copy it just like that, copy and paste it there. Okay, so that they can easily identify it. Then click on add. So for me, these are the only load types that I want to consider. As I've mentioned, make sure that you include all the possible loads which will act on this structure as an engineer, of course. So I'm done with this one. I'll simply click on close. And you see that if I go there, I have all these appearing here from the self-weight up to the roof live. And if I go to loads and the load table, okay, the only one which is appearing here is the self-weight, because it has already been calculated. Okay, so we are not going to see the other ones, because what we are just doing here is just to to indicate the load types. We haven't added the actual loads. Once we add the actual loads, they will now appear under the load table. Okay, so I'll just cancel this one and go to the next step of now, the load definition. You have to define the loads. I'll click on that. So I'll simply drag this one here, and you see that from here, you can apply a load as a node. You can apply the load, on a member. We have different options here, and also for the surface. Okay, so from here, before you do anything, make sure that you pick the, remember we define the loads here. I mean, from there we define the load types, of course. Then I'll pick the load type that I want to consider. The self-weight is already calculated, so just leave it out. Go to the floor finish. Make sure that you pick it from here, because that's the one we are considering. The floor finish is the surface load. So you pick on the surface, then you pick on that one because it's a uniform planar load. Click on it. Then the surface load, I just want to that is for the floor finish. I just want to consider this one as 1 kilonewton per square meter. Then from here, we know from here that we are in the Z direction. So just go to Z and make sure that you put a negative value. We have 1, and you can see the units. These are kilopascal. A kilopascal is equal to a kilonewton per square meter. So I'll just put 1 there. Then click on add. Okay, that is the surface load. Then click on apply. Then we have to pick all these slabs, okay, because that's where we want to add the floor finish. So I'll just select on one, right click, then I'll pick select similar, then by thickness. Okay, so I've selected all those slabs, as you can see. Then I'll just click there. You can see from the selection there, member selection, all the slabs have been picked, including here. So I'll click on apply, and you can see all the slabs have, that particular load. Okay, so I'll just drag it here once again. Then if I want, I can close. You can see, then go to the next one. These are the wall loads. Okay, click outside. Then I'll simply go to the load definition there. This is a wall load. Okay, so for the wall load, it's going to be a member. I'll click on member there, and I'm going to use that option, uniform load. I'll click there. Again, for the wall load, it's a kilonewton per meter. By this time, I've already calculated those loads. As an engineer, you know how to calculate those loads, because the purpose of this lesson is to teach you on how you can use what you have calculated in terms of the loads and insert it in robot structure analysis. So that is the wall load. Okay, now I just need to use the Z direction. From here, you can see Z is upward. So since the loads are supposed to, to be applied downwards, then we have to include a negative value here. Okay, a negative. So the wall loads, maybe I'm using a 12.3, negative 12. Okay, 12.3 right there. Then I'll click on add. Then I'll need to select the members. Now, I have a number of beams here where I'm assuming that I have the walls on all the beams here inside, as you can see. Now, there's a quicker way of selecting all these beams at once instead of just picking one by one. Okay, picking the beams one by one. I can simply go to that, member selection, click on that, then make sure that I pick the member there. Then under the geometry, I'll pick under the geometry. Then under the x-axis, you see we have the x, the y, and the z. So I just want to select the 3 levels there, excluding the top one, because I don't want to, that is the roof, I don't want to apply the wall load on top there. So I'll start from maybe, for x-axis, it's from 1 up to 4. That's okay. Then for y, it's from A up to D, as you can see from the axis there. Then from Z, I just want to start from story 1 up to 9. So story 1 up to 9 right there, as you can see. Once you do that selection, simply click on add there. As you can see, all those beams are selected. Then I'll simply click on close and just click there. You see that there will be, all of them will be added there. Okay, so that is member, those are added. Okay, then I'm dealing with this one. Oh, actually I already indicated that, so I'll simply click on apply. As you can see, if I just close, you see that these are the wall loads, these are the walls on all those beams. I'll simply orbit so that you can see all the loads that we have applied. So that is the third one. The next one is the live load. Okay, so I'll go to the load definition there. For the live loads, I just want to, to apply maybe the floors from story 1 up to story 9, okay, excluding this one. So I'll go to the surface. This is the surface load. Then I'll pick on, that one, the surface. And for this one, the live load, I just want to use a 2.4. Okay, again, as an engineer, you know where to get such loads. For example, if I go to this document, I'm using a 2.4 because maybe this building is for official use. So I'm picking the 2.4 as my load. Okay, so I'll go back there, make sure that you add a negative there. As you can see, I already have negative. Then I'll click on add. Then just make sure that you don't forget to change to live loads from here. Then I'll go back there once again. That is the surface load. Then again, I can use, if I want, I can start picking one by one. But what I'm going to do is to simply go to the selection there. Again, I'll use the geometry axis, meaning from 1, actually from that one up to, to 4. That's okay. Then the Y from A up to D. The Z, I want to start from story 1 up to maybe 9. And add it there. As you can see, I've selected, but make sure that you don't pick the member, but in this case we want the panel. Okay, just add it once again so that you exclude. It's like I've picked what I'm not supposed to pick, so I'll just cancel this one. So for that, I'll go back to there, make sure that you pick the live loads. I want to do a proper selection, go back there. Then this is a surface. Pick that one as a surface. This is 2.4. That's the one I want. Then you click on add. Then I'll just click there once. I'll need to go back there and pick geometry. Then from there, it's just from 1 up to 4. Then the other one is from A up to D. I just want to select those levels from story 1 up to 9 from here, as you can see. Then under the Z, you can refer to what we have there. For Z, I just want to start from 1 up to to 9. Okay, then make sure that this time you don't forget, make sure that you pick the panel and add it there. As you can see, I've just picked the panels. Okay, if I just drag this one, you can even see that these are the panels that I've picked there. Okay, so let me just drag this one here and this one here. So I'll simply close this one. I've selected those, then I'll click on apply. Make sure that these are, the wall loads are closed, and you can see that we have, the live loads, the live loads have been, added there. Okay, the last one, you can see on top there, we have the roof. I just want to add a roof live. It's still the same procedure. Really, it's very simple to do. Just click there, then click on surface, that is surface. Then for the roof live, I just want to use negative 0.3. Okay, so 0.3, make sure that you refer to the code. Okay, you can do the calculations. Then I'll click on, make sure that global is selected because that is the global coordinate. Okay, Z is pointing up. We are putting a negative so that it goes down. Then click on add. Then I'll click there. I just want to select that one on top. But instead of going to that selection, because these are few panels here, I can simply go, come here. Okay, if I just drag under the floors there, I can expand and, just expand it like that. I know these were the last ones. This one, I can hold control. You see, as I'm doing that, they are being selected. As you can see, I just have one remaining like that. It's selected. So once you do that, just click there. This is make sure that you don't forget to change this one to roof live. These are selected, and this one, and click on apply. As you can see, that one is added. I'll close this one. Okay, now one thing I want to show you is that if I keep on switching, if I go to Selfweight, okay, you not see it, but if I change to this one, you are going to see that red or magenta lines showing that is the load that I've calculated automatically by the software. Okay, I'll bring back the section shapes. If I go back to the other one, floor, you can start checking the loads that you've defined and applied. You see that the wall loads for the beams there, I can go to the live loads for the floors there, and also the roof live, as you can see on top there. So we are done with the the definition, the load types, and also the load definition. Now let me show you that if I go to the loads, then the load table, from here you see that now I have all the loads right there. Okay, so this is the first step. The second step in this lesson is for us to create our combinations. I'll simply close this one, click outside. If you don't want to show those loads there, you can simply click on the load value, click once again, disappears. The next one, okay, this one can bring the loads to see the loads we're dealing with. Okay, now to create the combinations, we are going to use the manual method, and depending on the code that you are using, the procedure is the same, but I'm going to use the BS, okay, the British Standard. So I'll simply go to loads there, then I'll use the manual combination. Then from here, I'll simply drag it here, and I'll create the combination type under the ultimate limit state. So the name that I'm putting here, once again, is for identification purpose. So I'm just going to have 1.4 DL for dead load. Okay, so I'll make sure that I activate the caps. Then I'm just going to say plus 1.6 live load. So this is just a name. You click on OK, then you see that it's going to appear right there. Okay, so the first thing now you need to do is to find the factor. Of course, that's where I'm putting 1.4 dead load 1.6, because I just want to use the factor of 1.4 right there. Then I'll make sure that I'll pick all the dead loads. Okay, so these were under the category structure, so I'll simply pick there and make sure that I add all of them. Okay, I missed it here. It's supposed to be 1.4, so I'll simply select all of them, hold control. Okay, or I'll simply remove one by one. This is how you can remove the loads there. What I want to do is to make sure that I put 1.4 here. Okay, then all these 1.4 will be applied as a factor, then add here 1.4 is right there. This is what I want. Then that is 1.4 dead load. Then I'll need to change to the other category. It was category A for the live. Then I'll put 1.6 for the live load. So if I add all these here, you can see we have 1.6 for the live load, and make sure that you click on apply. Okay, so if I close there, I open there, you see that I have that load combination. Now under the serviceability limit state, I also want to create one. I'll simply go to loads, manual combination. We are here, but just click on new, and we want to change this one to serviceability limit state. This is simply 1, okay, the DL plus another one live load, 1 dead load plus 1 live load, and click on apply. So as you can see, we are dealing with this one now. So again, I want to just go to the dead loads. Okay, make sure that it's 1 because the serviceability limit state, and add all of them here. Then I'll change the category for live. We're in category A. Those are the only two ones. Okay, we have one there, and add all of them as you can see from here and click on apply and close. Okay, so if I go there, you see that I have all the loads. Okay, I can start switching. If I change, remove the section shapes from here, you can start switching from there. We have the flow finish. Make sure that if you're not seeing the actual loads, you have to activate it there so you can see the loads are there, and that is the direction. Okay, then I can go to the other one. Just make sure that you have applied your loads on the correct members. You can go to roof live. As you can see, the combinations, as you can see, it will pick all those combinations. As you can see on top there, we included all those loads under the combinations, as you can see. Okay, so the two combinations are there. We have for the ultimate limit state and for the serviceability limit state. Okay, so thank you very much. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, make sure that you like all the videos on this channel, and see you in the next lesson where I'll be looking at analysis.